Community and allowing us the opportunity to engage with your students, with yourselves, with community members, industry partners. Your hospitality, transparency, and dedication to students was evident throughout the entire process from start to finish. The visiting committee commends No Crop for its strong collaborative culture, commitment to career technical education, and alignment of programs with industry and student needs. Your strategic partnerships, use of career readiness practices, and robust professional development structures have cultivated a safe learning environment that is both inclusive and career focused. The final presentation and findings validate that No Crop has made a significant progress in addressing previous WASC recommendations and continuing to prioritize student achievement through innovation, equity, and excellence in program delivery. Thank you for your thoughtful engagement throughout the accreditation process.
I think we're going to share just different aspects of our visit today, and I think I'm going to take the parents portion of this. And I think it was really cool to hear from parents in the focus group that we started our Sunday with. It was nice to see a parent who was a Spanish speaker as well, to get their voice in there as well. It was great to see parents from different pathways, different kind of geographical locations as well within the district boundaries as well. So it was really nice. I think the areas of strength that really kind of came through was just the value of CTE, right? We know sometimes CTE is seen, as the second tier, and this was not the case from both the parents that we heard. They talked about the idea of students being able to, see relevance in their learning to real world because of CTE. They were able to show how it increases motivation. They were able to talk about how concepts are not abstract. As a former science teacher myself, I thought I had the advantage of doing labs and being able to show students relevance, but CTE is true relevance, right? And I think that was clearly communicated by both the parents that was there. So I thought that was really appreciative. They also talked about the opportunities that their children may not have had if they were not in the CTE courses, right? And that I think is a true testament, right? Because I think when one door opens, I think there's so many other doors for students to find, right? They talked about that, right? They specifically talked about the ambassador program, which I think is a shining reflection of just leadership at a whole different level. I know we saw that in the classrooms as well, but the parents spoke to that. They talked about how that provided students with the leadership experience to really hone in the communication skills that are real life and important, right, for the real world. They referenced the Medical Innovation Research and Innovation Meyer program, and that again was another testament, right, of the students saying that I didn't know I could do this unless I was part of this group, right? And those doors kind of opened up. So those to us were the strengths that were kind of mentioned. I'm sure there are many more, but from those two parents that were there, we heard about those, right? So there's commending your team for that. Areas of growth, I think really continue to build the channels of communication, right? We only had the two parents there, but they both mentioned how what they heard about in terms of programs and resources came through their students, right? So I'm sure there are other channels that you use, but I think that's a challenge for all of us, right? Just to increase that and make them certainly more active, right, versus passive. And I know you guys are doing that already, but that's still the other thing that kind of came out just as an area of continual growth for us. So that's what we heard from the parents, and so thank you for all that you do for them. Appreciate it.
Good. Oh, staff next. My bad. I thought it was
I should have done that. I apologize. we didn't spit this out properly.
I couldn't remember what the flow was.
We're thinking it went parents, then students. Okay, so what staff shared. First of all, I'd like to tell you that your staff is happy and they enjoy coming to work. And we saw that was evidenced in the classrooms. It was evidenced everywhere we went. They are doing well and thriving here, and they enjoy being here, and they love the work that they do. And so that's a testament to the work that you're all doing. So areas for strength, the PLC format is effective, supportive, and proactive. And the staff actually felt that the WASC, the endeavor on the self-study was very easy because the PLC systems were already in place, and so there weren't new systems set up to do the WASC self-study. They were able to use the PLC format, and they appreciated that because they already had work groups that they were comfortable in. They felt like we've added some quotes that PLCs are helping identify strategies and resources to know that as a new teacher, they were on the right track. And we heard lots of new teachers they showed evidence that they felt supported in the PLC process and sharing in the groups and how that worked. The PLC also allows the teachers to communicate, ensure that lessons are not duplicated and that there's clear transition between skills and levels. And we heard teachers share that they do work in groups at PLC and talk about where they're struggling and share best practice. So that's an area of strength. Also, staff felt supported, especially new teachers. The pathway managers offer observation and feedback, and it was echoed that is a huge way that they do feel supported. The mentoring programs work well for both the veteran teachers and the new teachers because they actually learn from each other. Being industry, they need to know what's fresh in the industry, and they learn that from the new teachers often. And then they felt that they had access to administration. As far as areas of growth, continue to increase the channels of communication for accurate sharing of information. You are everywhere, and that's going to be, we recognize that you're working on that and something you'll always need to continue. And then professional development, the staff they said that ongoing PD is valued, but they would like further emphasis on andragogy, UDL, and differentiated instruction. And veteran teachers really want PD that helps them stay relevant in the career fields. So great job with staff. Thank you.
Okay, what students share, right? Kind of what we do or why we do what we do. It's very evident. So I think part of the most fun, I don't know about the most fun, but the most enjoyable piece is being able to talk to students, right? Because what they share is pretty much why, like I said, what we do. So from the focus group on that very first day, so we had just some basic kind of comments on those strengths that they kind of shared. So activities that help students connect with real world field trips in ed tech, student organizations, extracurricular activities, interact with CTE pathways, CTE clubs, and Skills USA to gain knowledge and experience. They really kind of expressed that that is something that is a highlight that they're able to enjoy. But some of the overall sentiments when talking with students is the general feeling that they are supported, the general feeling that, hey, I enjoy what I'm doing in class every day. I enjoy the different environment that I'm involved in. I enjoy, and I also acknowledge and understand those different career readiness skills that they're getting to as well. So they each shared all these different experiences and spoke highly of their connections with their teachers, which is highly important. Areas of growth, and just kind of being able to kind of go from some of the comments that on Sunday. Increased course offerings in school sites, and they gave a couple examples through there as far as medical, patient care, video production. More classroom space to offer increased course offerings. Again, another area is difficult to have work-based learning experiences, and want to have more of those experiences. Offer CTE pathways in middle schools to be able to kind of have that experience early on, kind of set that stage, was also mentioned too as well. And have some other conversations with students is, I'm going to share this story to where I talked to a student that was in a pathway that she was enjoying, but she shared with me, she's like, hey, I really would love if there's a different pathway here because that's where I want to kind of continue on. But also sharing, she recognized that, hey, the value of those transferable skills to where she acknowledged that too as well. I think that was kind of, she was sharing as part of that career exploration that she was taking part of, even though that she wasn't planning on continuing in that pathway. Adult students, right, for that layer. We had some adult students that shared on Sunday some some great stories. I think I would definitely want to be able to mention, to where there was a 60-year-old woman, to where she had a background in medical, her own kind of background, but had the opportunity to take the dental program, and was excited to have that opportunity, and excited that was available to her as well. Another student that was an ambassador, that was an adult ambassador, that had only been in the country for 3 years, and used that ambassador platform for practicing her English and be able to kind of prepare better for that. So she took advantage of that. So I wanted to kind of highlight those. I think those are really important to kind of share as far as those experiences from those adult learners. Student at continuation school also shared, to where that connection with that program and that pathway, wanted that person to be able to kind of stay at that school because of that connection. I want to highlight that too as well, because just that's another indicator to where how CTE programs and the style of teaching really kind of connects those students to those programs. And that is it.
You're next.
Oh.
Okay, good morning. We absolutely enjoyed going to all of your classes, a variety of them. My driver was Tom at camp. It was very enjoyable. We shared personal stories, as well as like, why are we in adult education? And it was, we both have a passion for it, and you could really see that visibly, not only in your staff or your administrators, but also in your classroom. The second day, I have to just include Lulu was accompanied us on the second day, and so Lulu, so it was definitely lively. So we enjoyed it, and I just want to focus or just let you know some of the classes that we visited. I know administration knows all of them, but I just want to touch on that first, because it was very meaningful for us to see your classes. So child development, design, visual media arts, graphic design, I think I saw 3 of those. Food services and hospitality, wonderful. Very glad to see one of the classes, because I got cookies out of that. Chocolate chip and wedding cookies, not that I need wedding cookies, but nevertheless, it was good. We saw production, managerial arts, the drone technology. One of our colleagues saw that. Emergency response, that was, and fire, that was very good. The patient care and sports medicine, oh my goodness, that was just so enjoyable. The students were so engaged. And one thing that I really like when I see instruction is the concept of I do, you do, we do. And one of the teachers who I saw did, use that strategy, and I just thought that was very good modeling. I saw that in a number of classes, by the way. Structural repair and refinishing, one of my colleagues saw that. Systems diagnostic, service and repair. Not to forget adult education and the preschool model. Okay, just so you know the classes that we saw. So we felt that they were industry grade equipment, technology. I know that in talking with the administration this year that you're really trying to make sure that there's equity in all of your classes, and that was very evident. Resources and tools were available for students to learn. In one of the digital designs, media, the teacher mentioned his story. Mauro, is it Mauro? Yes, he mentioned his story, that he desperately wanted to be in that class as in high school, and he was told that he couldn't be in the class unless he had a camera, and so he wasn't able to be in that class. So he made sure that you have cameras, so that that does not inhibit a student to be a part of the class. So that was really wonderful to hear. We saw the career ready practices, the CRPs in the class, displayed in the classroom. And so that was evident. in talking with some of your teachers, they also talk about the 5 C's, the framework for Anaheim School District. Student using technology and working in groups, practicing technical and essential work-related skills. And I, in going to the food services and hospitality, you could really see the project-based learning going on. Okay, and I know that that's an emphasis that you have in this, in no crop. So I really like that part, because then students take the knowledge that they glean from theory and they actually put it to practice. Okay, the ambassador program. Oh my goodness, that is a definite, keepsake, and I plan to take that. I think that all of us can say, our colleagues could say that that was such a warm welcome that instantly drew us in to your classes and wanting to know more. So, and one of the teachers said, I said, well, do you decide on who's going to be the ambassador? And he said, no, they rotate depending on the visitors who come. Oh my goodness, what better way to build students' self-esteem, self-confidence, as well as communication and leadership. So please continue that throughout all of your classes. They did speak very well, and it was just an enjoyable experience. So thank you so much.
Nice. Without me even touching.
Oh, shoot.
I'm over there. School-wide strengths. All right, for school-wide strengths. All right, so continuous improvement is continuous, right? You all are working and moving a needle every day. And so the self-study and reflective process that you engaged in was just a culminating activity for you, right? And so now you've identified your strengths, you've identified the gaps, we've confirmed it, and we've kind of helped you all to begin to move your action plan in the cycle of inquiry again, right? And so with that, looking at your school-wide strengths, you all foster strong, collaborative, and supportive organizational culture that is evident across all levels of the institution, right? All levels of operation. And so that was a reoccurring theme throughout every focus group, every classroom observation, communicating with all stakeholders, professional learning communities. Learning walks and pathway-like instructor meetings are intentional. That was a theme as well, the intentionality of no crop, right? You're intentional with best practices. You're intentional with the partners that you bring into the space. You're intentional with the pathways. You're intentional even with moving forward outside of the scope of the self-study. Data has already began to be a prominent theme, right? The data dashboard, which wasn't included in the self-study report, but you've already began to move that forward. The idea and practice behind redefining your mission and your vision and including stakeholders in that process. It's a testament to the passion, intention, sustainability. Great job. And so in closing, the visiting committee applauds NoCrop for the many strengths highlighted in this final presentation. Again, your culture, shared leadership, industry-aligned partnerships, commitment to continuous professional growth. At the same time, we recognize that continuous improvement, it requires us to identify our gaps and create an action plan to move forward, right? And so we have identified two areas of growth that, well, let me back up. It's always great as a chair or a visiting committee member when the school or the organization, the educational entity that you're visiting, they have already identified in a transparent and authentic way real gaps in programs, right? And so we were only to identify 2 additional areas for you all to add in your action plan. So again, that's a testament that the continuous improvement is authentic and it's transparent and it's inclusive, okay? And so one area is data collection. And even though we didn't read it, you already identified it, right? And so we're confirming that. And so we would like for you all to continue to build a comprehensive strategy around global organizational capacity for data collection, analysis, and data-driven decision-making. And you're moving in that direction. The second area for continuous improvement, and you've started it in the adult ed component, you have the referral process, but we'd like for you all to kind of streamline that and include that in your K-12 pathways as well. And so you have communication between your managers and your administrators and district personnel, but create a process for that. And so that concludes our final presentation. Thank you all, and it was an honor and privilege to share the space with you all. Thank you.